Cassidy, where are you right now? Mom is really worried about where you've ran off to. It's the day of your meeting with the guy, and yet you're nowhere to be found.
Mom is still trying to find where I am. I already told her that I'm not going to meet with that guy.
What? Are you going to no-show for the meeting they set up for you?
That's what I've decided. I'm not going to let my parents be the ones to decide who I go out with. That's boring and lame. I want to live a life that I get to decide. So I'm going to wait to marry a man that I find fit for myself instead.
Huh? What are we even talking about right now? You were the one that wanted Mom and Dad to find you a partner to begin with, right? You made such a big deal about how you wanted to marry a man with a lot of money and asked Mom and Dad to look for a man like that for you. That's why Mom and Dad went through all the effort to get this meeting ready for you so that you could see the guy they think you'll like.
And at the time, the goal was to get married to a good-looking man with a lot of money. But look, after making such a big deal out of it, I ran into the man I am destined for. That's when I realized everything I needed to. It's not about money when it comes to marriage. It's all about the love and care that they show you.
Please don't tell me you went out and found yourself a male host and are planning to marry him over one time of him showing you some attention?
What? Why do you know about something like that? I never told anyone in the family, including you, that I've been paying to see male hosts.
There was something that had fallen right in front of your bedroom door. A card that you must have received from one of those hosts, and it was bedazzled. Also, you've been recently coming home at like 3 or 4 in the morning pretty often. You often smell of pure liquor every time. I knew right away what was going on there.
Wow, you're like a detective.
As long as the both of you actually love one another, that's fine. But before you run off with a man like that, you need to deal with the other responsibilities you have, please. You have a meeting with a man you were asking Mom and Dad to look for, right? You need to go to both Mom and Dad and that man and apologize to them before saying you're no longer interested. That's the least you can do for them all.
What? I'm not doing any of that. I can apologize to them all I want, but they're going to be pissed at me for this. So that's why I'd like you to go to all of them and tell them that I'm not coming today and that I'm sorry about it.
Huh? Why do I have to do something like that for you?
Well, you're my older sister, and your job is to take responsibility for your cute little sister. So with that, please take care of things back home. Today I have a date with Jake at Mouse World. Hey, Helena, please listen. I finally got something from Cassidy. She told me that she's not coming to today's meeting at all now. She said she found herself the man she's destined for and will be marrying him.
Just a second ago, she was telling me all about that. It seems as though the male host she's been going out with recently has taken a hold of her heart.
A male host? The man she's destined for is a male host of all people?
She said she finally came around to realizing that love is more important than money. So because of that, she wanted to tell you to cancel the meeting today with the man you had planned for her, and to do it as soon as possible. And after today, you should probably go apologize to him for it.
But, I could never go through with canceling this meeting now. The man I had prepared for her is someone I had to pull a lot of strings with to get to go to this meeting. He happens to be a businessman that's helping run his family's company right now. And on top of that, he happens to be the son of a very important customer to your dad. So there's no way I'm going to be able to cancel this meeting on him now.
Wait, really? Then we're going to have to go and get Cassidy and have her go to meet him right away. I'll tell her to go back home right now.
No, it's no use trying to do that with her now. I'm not even able to get her to read the texts I'm sending to her anymore.
What?
I might have tried too hard to get a hold of her and really drove her off. The last thing she said to me was that if I'm going to be so upset about her, then she's not coming back home. And since that text, she hasn't read anything and won't pick up her phone to my calls either. Your dad has even tried calling her and she won't pick up for him either.
No way! She's not reading any more of my texts that I've sent. I think she's gone and blocked me, actually.
I knew this would happen with her. If this is how things are going to be, then it's up to you. I want you to go to that man we have waiting. I want you to go and meet with that CEO's son right now for your sister.
Huh? Why do I have to go see him?
You're already old enough now, and this is the perfect chance for you to find a good man to marry. He happens to be the son of a CEO and helps run the family business with his dad. If you and him get along, then you'll be set for life. He's in his 50s now, but he is a good-looking man, and I think you'll like him.
Hold your horses. He's in his 50s right now? I'm only 28 years old, Mom.
You'll be fine. Karen happens to be married to a man who is 45 years older than her. Compared to her, you're only around 22 years younger than him, so you're fine.
That does not make me feel any better about seeing him. And the other thing is that I'm not even wanting to get married right now.
Oh, just shut up already and get yourself prepared to go see him. Your little sister went and canceled last minute on him, and you, being her older sister, means you have to take over for her. It's your job.
Huh?
You're the older sister, right? If your little sister doesn't want to do something anymore, then you step in to do it for her. That's what it means to be an older sister.
For crying out loud, Mom, ever since I was little, you've always been forcing me to do everything for her, all because I'm her older sister. I'm tired of having to be the one to clean up after all of Cassidy's messes.
Excuse me?
I never thought the day would come where you'd actually force me to clean up a mess like this for her. Having to go out with the man she was crying for? Who the hell have you thought I am this whole time, Mom? Every dang time my little sister causes trouble or makes an accident, you send me in to clean up the mess. I'm not Cassidy's janitor.
What is with that attitude of yours? When have I ever treated you like her janitor?
You've been treating me like that ever since she was born. Every time she got yelled at in school, and you blamed me for it, saying I wasn't watching her close enough. Why the hell did I have to act like her parent at school and apologize for everything she did? And what about the times that Cassidy would break her friends' toys? You would blame me for not being there to manage how she handled the toys. And then would take my allowance away and use it to pay for new toys. I'm sick and tired of being there to take blame for everything she does.
Shut up right now! This is what it means to be an older sister. Now you cut it out with all that back-talking and get your ass ready to go see that man. If you don't, I'm going to have you kicked out of this house.
What did you say to me?
You are too old now to not be married yet, and instead all you've been doing is living in your parents' house. If you want to keep living your life like that, the least you can do is shut up and be useful to your parents. You are going to see that man now that Cassidy isn't going. Do you hear me, Helena? I want you to make everything work with him and make him your husband so that you don't have to rely on your dad and I anymore. And once you and him have your marriage, I want you sending your dad and I $2,000 every month.
Huh? Enough! Since when?
Since when what?
Since when did this become about me sending you guys any money? This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
I was expecting my young and pretty Cassidy to be the one to marry that man, but now I'm no longer able to get any response from her. So I'm going to make you responsible for her actions, and we'll have you marry him now and send us our money. You marry that man, and you pay us every month as a way of being as good of a daughter to us as Cassidy was. Helena, today I'm going to be coming back to Mom and Dad's house.
Cassidy?
Long time no see, right? Have you been doing okay?
Where have you been all this time? Ever since that day you never talked to me. We've had no clue about where you went. I thought you died or been kidnapped or something. Yet after 5 years, you're just gonna come back to Mom and Dad's like nothing ever happened?
Man, I'm sorry about whatever happened back then. I guess I pissed Mom and Dad off a lot more than I'd first imagined. I was too afraid to go back home to them, so that day I chose to start living with my boyfriend.
Boyfriend? Are you talking about the male host you were after then?
That's right. I went and stayed at Jake's house. Then he and I got engaged, but then we broke up. But then we got back together again. A lot has happened in the past 5 years. But the next big thing that's happened is I've become pregnant with his kid. That's why I've planned to tell all of you guys about how we've gotten married and are having a baby when I'm home.
What? You got married and now you're pregnant?
So much has happened to me that I'm sure you're shocked, right? When I showed Mom and Dad my big belly, they were both just as shocked as you are.
You showed them your belly already. Wait, so then you're already at the house then?
That's what I've been trying to say. And that's why I said starting today, I'd be back in their house. Just a bit ago, I got back from my 5 years vacation. I was assuming they would never let me back into the house again, but they both cried when they saw me and were so happy.
I'm sure they were. For some reason or another, Mom and Dad just love you so much that they'd do anything for you. And while you've been gone, you got married and are going to give birth to their grandchild. All of their wishes as your parents have come true by this point.
And this is all thanks to you, Helena. Thank you so much for being a single woman this whole time. Because of that, both Mom and Dad were able to let me right into the house without even thinking about it.
Huh?
Man, I was surprised by that. I had given you the chance to land yourself a man with all that money and a very bright future. But he told you no when you went to see him? You were told that you weren't his type by an old geezer in his 50s? That pretty much means you're screwed as a woman.
What? Well, he was expecting to be marrying a 22-year-old woman who never had any experience with a man before, and that's what Mom told him. However, I happened to be 28 at the time, and that wasn't part of the deal, so of course he'd say no to me.
And since then, you've been alone with not a single man interested in you, right? That is too crazy. No wonder Mom and Dad were so happy to have me come back to them after 5 years. Mom told me she was getting so fed up with a worthless daughter like you who never did anything for her parents. She then told me that she never expected to see her baby's face again, so this is the happiest she's felt in a long time.
That's just like Mom and Dad to be the most cruel people in the family. I never turned out to be the child they wanted, so they abandoned me and put all their love and care into you.
And so, Helena? About them not caring about you any from today, you're no longer allowed back in this house. I'm going to make sure that the parasite who's been living off her parents for far too long without ever finding herself a man or making any kids is gone for good.
Huh?
Well, Mom and Dad both told me that it would be wonderful if after giving birth to my baby, I just lived with them forever. So I gave my man a call about it. And he told me that if things are going okay after the birth, it would be totally okay to live with my parents. So that means he's going to need room for all his things in this house, too.
So what you're saying is that in order to accommodate your husband now, you're going to give him my room?
That's right. I'm so sorry that I'm always so selfish and both Mom and Dad do everything for me. But you've always been such a loser ever since you were a little girl, so it's not my fault everyone has grown tired of you and wants you gone.
Huh?
I'm going to take all your crap now and throw it outside the house for you, all right? A parasite your age needs to learn that you don't get access to everything anymore. Especially when your cute and loved little sister needs it more. So it's time for you to go. I really hope that you can end up like me soon, finding yourself a good husband and a house to live in.
I'm not living in that house anymore. I live with my husband in a high-rise apartment now.
What?
So go ahead and live with Mom and Dad again. Do whatever the heck you want, really. All of that has nothing to do with me. So have fun moving your husband into their house as well.
What? Husband? And high-rise apartment? Helena, have you already started to have early onset dementia or something? You're a single woman, so you don't have a husband. And there's no way you'd ever afford to live in one of those kinds of apartments. That is so insane of you to say something like that I just peed myself a little laughing.
I'm sorry, but nothing about this is insane. It's all very, very real. I moved out of Mom and Dad's house long ago, actually.
Huh? What are you going on about? You have been living with Mom and Dad all your life, right? You told everyone that the only way you'd be moving out of their house is if you got married, right?
And that was the plan, but I got kicked out of the house by Mom and Dad. After you ran away, they forced me to go and meet the man you were supposed to see. But that old guy told me I wasn't his type and left. Mom and Dad had been hoping that one of their daughters would end up with a man loaded with money, but I wasn't able to achieve that for them. So Mom told me that she never wanted to see my face again, and that's when I got kicked out of the house.
What?
Of course, by that point, they had gotten on my last nerve, so I jumped on what she was wanting from me and said I would never come back again. And ever since that day, I've not once gone back to see them.
Is that right? But in your room that you were living in, all your things are in here. All your clothing and your bags, makeup, all of it is in here. Yet, you're telling me you don't live here anymore?
They told me to leave their site when they were out of the house right after that 50-year-old left. At that point, I was so fed up with everyone that I didn't even go home to grab any of my things. After that, I started renting a small apartment and had to buy all the things I needed back.
No way.
Then a little while after all that, I met someone amazing and we ended up getting married. But actually, I still haven't gotten around to telling Mom or Dad about it. I'm sorry, but could you go and tell those two about it? Let them know that their older daughter's been married for some years now, and explain to them that my husband and I have a very nice high-rise apartment now, and I'll not be going back to them. Then you can finish by saying that you and your husband are totally welcome to move into their house now.
Wait. No way. Why did you never ever tell something so important to Mom and Dad? Couldn't you have at least told Mom that you got married? And what do you mean you both live in a high-rise apartment? I still don't get that. What kind of man did you end up marrying?
He's just your average office worker, but both him and myself have been doing very well in the fields we work. So the money that each of us bring in each year is comparable to that of a doctor.
Comparable to that of a doctor?
You think I'd ever in my entire life want to tell those two dumbasses about the wonderful life I'm living now? Those two wanted me to marry a man in his 50s so that they could have access to all his money, right? And when that didn't work out, after forcing me to take your place and meeting him, they cast me out of the house. I was worried that the only thing that would come from telling them about marriage was trouble.
I get that, but...
That's all I have to say now. And let me just say, don't bother asking me for any gifts because you're having a baby. I plan on cutting ties between myself and all of you.
Hey, Helena, I heard about you from Cassidy. What the hell were you thinking not telling your parents that you got married? And what's this about you living in a high-rise apartment now? Why have you not been telling your parents about any of that important information?
That's because this information is too important for two dumbasses to know about. Did you not understand that?
Excuse me? You... Who the hell do you think you are calling your own parents dumbasses?
I don't think of myself as anyone special. Just you happen to be two dicks that think they can treat their older daughter like garbage because she didn't get the old creepy 50-year-old to marry her. I think calling you both dumbasses is the perfect description, to be honest.
At that time, both your dad and I were very tired. That day your little sister just vanished on us, and we had to make sure to take good care of that man because he's the son of your dad's customer. That's why we kind of took out all our anger on you. We didn't actually think that a man like him would be interested in you and turn you away.
I'm not here to listen to your excuses, Mom, and it's not just that that makes you and Dad dumbasses. Ever since I was little, you have both completely ignored me for Cassidy and made me responsible for all of the mistakes she made. When you blew up on me the last time, I had had enough myself, and that's why I chose to never go back to you guys. No matter how much you try to apologize and excuse yourself for the way you treated me, I'm not going to let you guys back in my life.
Don't say something so depressing. How about we celebrate both yours and Cassidy's wedding? We can have both your guys' husbands come, and we can all eat delicious food together while sharing good memories we have. I really want to meet your husband, Helena.
Huh?
Oh, can you please at least bring him over to your parents' house just one time? I'll get all kinds of good foods made up for you two, and I'll even prepare a bed for you both to sleep in. It would be wonderful to have the both of you.
What is this all about? Your favorite baby, Cassidy, has come back home to you now, so you don't need me anymore. You're gonna have a grandbaby here soon as well. And from what I've heard, Cassidy and her husband will be moving in with you guys long term, right? I'll most definitely not be bringing my husband back to a place like that, so no thank you.
Then if I make sure Cassidy and them don't live with us, will you come by and stay a while? I really want you to introduce us to your husband who is able to afford a high-rise apartment. If you're able to promise us that you'll bring him over, then I'll do my very best to kick Cassidy out of here. And if you find that you're more happy back here, you are more than welcome to move back home to this house and live with us again. As long as your husband comes too.
What? You don't want to have Cassidy and her husband come live with you? She told me you were so happy to have her home.
And at first I was super happy to see her again. But I never thought that you'd hide from your dad and I the fact that you got married. And, well, without the knowledge of you having a husband like that, I thought that Cassidy was the only one who had a chance at seeing a grandbaby and having someone come and live with us again. But I never knew that her husband used to be a male host at some point. And from what she's told me, he's not even working anymore and just stays home all day. They want to come and live with your dad and I here, but don't plan to give us any money in return. Now that I'm aware of this, I don't want any of them living in my house at all.
What?
At the time, Cassidy came in saying she just got married and was bringing us our first grandbaby. And along with that, she told us the man she married had connections to Dad's work, so of course I was okay with them both coming to live with us. Your dad and I really thought she got married to such a wonderful man.
But it turned out that the man she married is a jobless ex-male host.
And before knowing about any of that, we thought things would go perfectly. We assumed that her husband had money and all that, so we already started to talk about having the house updated and expanded in order to make it all comfortable for us. Her husband having such a job would mean he could afford it, and so I asked her if he would be able to pay for all that work to be done to the house. And that's when she said he doesn't have that kind of money. I was wondering how he didn't have the money to afford such work, and so I asked about it. She told me he wasn't a CEO or anything just yet, but had plans to start his company really soon. She told me he's currently unemployed, but soon he will start his own male host club, like a men's strip club, and make that his business.
So he plans to start his own business.
I was so happy to have Cassidy back in our lives again, but I'm a bit disappointed by all the horrible news she told us after. But you're in a totally different situation than her, right? Your dad and I will apologize for everything we did to you in the past. We can make up again, and you can live with us again, right?
Who the hell would do that with you two? I have no plans of letting you guys meet my husband, and I sure as hell am not going to go back and live with all of you. Your younger daughter isn't doing good enough, so you switch to your older daughter. Your older daughter isn't doing good enough, so you switch back to your younger daughter. And then the cycle starts all over again. Back and forth, back and forth. How many more times are you and Dad going to keep going back and forth between which daughter you want to care more about?
Hey, we're not going back and forth like that.
Don't ever talk to me again. I'll never tell you anything else about the life my husband and I live, so don't bother me anymore. I've chosen to live the rest of my life believing that I never had parents or a sister.
This is the worst. Because of you, I've been kicked out of Mom and Dad's house. What the hell do you think you're doing?
Huh?
Mom and Dad were so happy to have me back home with them again. But the moment they found out that my husband used to be a host and is now jobless, they turned me away. She told me that they're having you move back in with them, so I needed to leave now. They won't even let me have my baby here with them and want me to leave.
They kicked you out already? I have no plans of going back there, and I thought I made that clear already.
Because of this, I need you to tell me where your apartment is right now. I'm coming to your place to relax and have my baby there. That's what I've decided, and nothing's going to change my mind about it.
What?
Had you just stayed single instead of getting married, then Mom and Dad would have never kicked me out of their house because I would have been their only hope. You're going to take responsibility for this.
Shut the hell up, you idiot! I want you to go screw yourself with that responsibility and then walk your ass back to your home and hope that you can still have a baby after being screwed that hard.
What? Shut up! Do something about this right now! You're my older sister, right? I'm not kidding when I say that my husband has no job right now, and that means no money at all. So as my older sister, you should be helping your little sister and her husband in trying times like these.
Go screw yourself. I'm blocking you right now, so have fun crying to nobody.
Huh? You're blocking me? Wait a frickin' minute. There is no way you can block me right now, you jerk.
Then watch this.
Wait! Hey! There is no way you just blocked me. Hey! You read these messages I'm sending to you right now. Helena, please. I'm sorry for everything, and I'll apologize to you in person if you just please let me come to your apartment. I don't have anywhere else to go right now. Helena, please. Helena, please don't leave me.
And just like that, I was able to show Cassidy that I could and would indeed be blocking her. After doing that, we never got any crap from her again, and my husband and I were able to continue living our lives in peace. From some rumors I overheard, it seems that Cassidy and her husband had to end up moving into a dirt-cheap apartment that doesn't even have its own bathroom. They began to fight in that tiny apartment, all while Cassidy has still been carrying her baby, and she makes sure every day to tell her husband that she's realized that money is far more important than love and destiny and tells him to go get a job. But because of their constant fights, things between them only continue to get worse. Recently, her husband stopped coming home to her, and she would cry on the floor asking why she was given a life like this. When it comes to my parents, my dad sent me a few emails saying that they want me to move back home with them now that they have gotten rid of Cassidy. Or if that's not what I want, then I could at least let them come live with my husband and I in the apartment. Of course, I never responded to any of those emails, and soon I'm thinking of blocking my dad as well. But until then, I'm going to continue reading through these emails so that I can enjoy watching those two morons freak out like their lives depend on me.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Oh, you poor thing of a bride. You went through all that effort of inviting all those guests, yet not a single one of them is going to be showing up. How does that feel for you? Please tell me. What? I'm sure it's not only heartbreaking for you, but very embarrassing as well, right? I'm so sorry about that, Raven. I stole all your guests from you. But this was bound to happen to you, right? After all, people would much rather come to a beautiful woman's wedding like mine than to some ugly woman's wedding. I'm not really sure what all of this is about right now, so could you please explain it to me? I guess there aren't any of my guests here yet, but they should all be here soon, right? Huh? Oh, not a single person is going to be coming to your wedding. Everyone from the office is coming to my wedding today, so there won't even be a single person on your guest list attending today. What? Wah, wah, wah. This is what happens when an ugly woman like you tries to be cheeky and pull a wedding. Even though you went through all that trouble to make those plans up, not a single person will be coming to see you today, so this will leave a blemish on your past for sure. You've been going on about how nobody will be coming to my wedding, right? So does that mean today you'll be having your wedding as well, Sky? That's correct. I thought this would be fun to do, so I went and made sure to schedule mine on the same day as yours. All with the hope of ruining your wedding for you. What? So you're intentionally trying to ruin my wedding? Honestly, I was wanting to have my wedding before yours, but not a single place had openings any sooner than today. So in the end, I ended up having to choose the same day as you. But of course, out of all the people we both invited, not a single one of them would choose to go to your wedding over mine. And there was no way I would have my wedding any later than yours, because I'm not coming in second place to some ugly monkey. I truly thought that you, of all people, would stay single for the rest of your life. But then you came into the office talking about how you would have a wedding coming up. That got me all worked up, and I had to hustle to make sure I'd find myself a man to marry. But of course, since I'm so good looking, that wasn't too hard for me at all. Before I even had a chance to call out to anyone, I had already found myself the perfect man to make mine forever. That's your reason for why you're getting married and on the same day as me? And you've gone and invited everyone from work as well? I wanted to make sure you didn't get ahead of me in any way, so there you go. Now, being the gross woman that you are, shut your mouth and let this happen. I'm sorry for stealing all your guests from that wedding you worked so hard on, but I'm sure the groom will be just as ugly, if not more ugly than you, so nobody will want to see any of that. Are you not aware of who I'm getting married to? What? I'm having this wedding with Mr. Gardner, the department manager. You were going on and on and on at the office about how attractive he was and everything. So it's a little messed up of you to call him ugly now just because he's getting married to me. Wait a second, please. You're getting married to... Huh? To Mr. Gardner? That's right. I'm kind of used to you always calling me ugly and such, but I'm not okay with you calling my husband ugly now. Drake is not at all ugly, and even you acknowledged that in the office plenty of times. We both know how good he looks and that he's a cool guy. Huh? Did you just call him your husband then? There's no way Mr. Gardner would ever have a reason for getting married to an ugly duckling like you, and besides, he's a married man. He's so deeply in love with her that no matter how hard I tried flirting with him, he didn't bat an eye toward me. So how the hell could a man like him be getting married to you? That wife he's so deeply in love with is me. Drake and I have actually been married for 5 years now. Huh? What did you just say? The only people within the company that knew about us being married were his higher-ups. So don't take this too hard on yourself for not knowing anything. Actually, I kind of was making sure you didn't find out about how him and I have been married. Huh? I mean, Sky, ever since you moved into this office with me, you've had your eyes set on him, right? You also have been calling me ugly ever since joining us and always go on about how I could never get married. I thought that if you found out about me being married to him of all people, things would only become worse regarding how you treat me. That's why for plenty of years now, both him and I have done everything we could to make sure you'd stay in the dark. Wait. I have no idea what you're going on about. The man I've been after all this time, Mr. Gardner, is your husband? He's the only man I've ever flirted with that hasn't even bothered to look at me. That's why I gave up on him and went after another man. You're telling me the reason he's never bothered with me is because he's married to the most ugly woman at work? The most ugly? And you're the most insulting. Then tell me, why are you guys only deciding to have your wedding now? If you guys got married to one another 5 years ago, then why have the wedding now? At the time, neither him nor I really cared at all about the theatrical things like the wedding or the honeymoon. We both chose to get ourselves a house that we really loved first before dumping any of our money into those things. But recently, he's really been wanting to see what I'd look like in a wedding dress. So we decided in the end that we'd host the wedding on our anniversary, which just so happens to be today. You're having the wedding on your anniversary? It's funny how you were just going on about not wanting me to get married any earlier than you were, right? It's been 5 years now, so you're 5 years late. What the hell? Who do you think you are laughing at me? It's starting to sound like you find my situation pretty funny now. Well, that's because the situation you've gotten yourself into is pretty funny. I've been married for years now and will have plenty of people coming today for my wedding. What? Now I have to get back to the dressing room because Drake and I have a wedding to give. I hope both you and I can have a very nice wedding today.
I just got my parents to the hotel they'll be staying at tonight. Both of them were so happy to be with us today and said that the wedding was amazing.
I just got my parents back to their house as well. I think those two were even more excited to see their daughter in a dress than you were to see your wife in one. They took so many photos on their phones of us that they have to go back and delete some to make room again.
I'm so happy that both of our families had a great time today. And seeing you today, looking that beautiful, was the best thing I've seen. Ever. But sorry about this morning, Raven. I'm sure you were shocked by what Sky was saying.
I've told you already not to worry about what she said. You knew about how she was planning to try and ruin this wedding and keep that a secret as to not worry me, right?
The fact that everyone in the office told me about what was going to happen really helped. Everyone was a little confused about what to do today because of those 2 invitations, so they came to me looking for answers. So, lucky for that, I was able to tell them all to still come to our wedding and avoid Sky's at all costs. I know that a few people went to her wedding, but even they chose to come here right after to say hi to us and see how happy we both looked.
And luckily for that, we were able to avoid having our wedding ruined by her.
I wanted to make sure you wouldn't have any worries today, and only smile the way I like you to. I really am thankful for what everyone did today. I was a bit worried myself that not everyone would get the notice and would end up going to Sky's wedding instead. But pretty much everyone did come on time, and that's such a blessing for you and I.
From what I heard, those that did go to Sky's wedding only stayed around for 30 minutes before coming to ours. They all said congrats to her and then immediately turned around and came here. I'm sure Sky may be a little upset right now.
She can get as mad as she wants, but this all happened to her because of what she had done. What did she think she was doing, trying to get everyone to go to her wedding in order to ruin ours? What a sore loser she is. Also, I heard from a few of the people in the office that when she handed out the invitations last minute, she said they only needed to stop by for a little bit, so she was kind of already setting herself up for failure.
Really? Well, then she has no reason to get upset with anyone but herself.
Now, I know that you and I were able to have a great wedding today, but She really did have people worried, including myself. When we get back to the house, let's you and I open a couple beers and celebrate.
You've really done it now after what happened yesterday. Ruining my frickin' wedding like that? And marrying the man of my dreams 5 years ago like that? Give me back the love of my life right now! What are you talking about, Sky? You only met Drake a few years ago, so he's not been the love of your life. And don't you have a husband yourself now? I heard you got married to a very impressive lawyer. He is very impressive and has lots of money, and I'd have to say he's perfect as my husband. But I am talking about our manager now. The only reason I chose this lawyer is because Mr. Gardner never ever looked at me and made me his wife. So you've really been wanting Drake that badly? Why did you get to end up being the wife of that man? I thought that if he had the audacity to ignore me all the time, then that meant he had a really gorgeous-looking wife. I thought that he was married to one of the most important people on this planet, a celebrity, if you will. But instead, it turns out he's married to one of my co-workers, and just to make matters worse, the worst-looking woman in the office. I will not let you get away with this. Say that all you'd like, Sky, but we've been married for 5 years now and just had our wedding. I don't care about any of that. I'm going to make sure to steal that husband of yours no matter what. What? Steal him from me? If I don't, then it's going to look like I've gone and lost to an ugly whore. Ever since I was in middle school, I've been able to get my hands on whatever man I've liked. So I'm going to make you taste the kind of power I have. Let's calm down here. You need to hold your horses there for a sec, Sky. Before you go and start trying to steal someone's husband, how about you think about the position you're really in? You yourself just got married to your husband yesterday, right? You have a man now, so how are you going to go about stealing another woman's husband? I'll think about that after I have your husband. I can just divorce my husband and take Mr. Gardner after that. Or I can just continue to date him while acting like I'm still in love with my current husband. Honestly, I'm okay with anything as long as I get to have your husband. Why are you such a bitch, Sky? I can be a bitch all I want because us pretty girls can get away with anything we want. And even if people start to find out I've been cheating on my husband with yours, my husband is a lawyer and is love-struck by me. There's no way he'd want to divorce me over a little bit of cheating anyway. Well, he's wanting that divorce. Huh? I'm actually with your husband right now. And I've been showing him every little thing you've been saying to me this whole time. So guess what? He wants to divorce you now. Wait a second. Why are you with my husband right now? Today he should be at work and so should you. He was a bit worried about his wife, so he came out to see Drake and I. He's been so worried about the way you've been acting that he needed to come and talk to 2 of the people you work with about you. How wonderful of a husband you have, Sky. Too bad you're letting him go. What? From what he's told us, you were acting all high and mighty yesterday morning, thinking you were doing the right thing by marrying him last minute in order to beat me. Also telling him that you had planned to steal all my guests in order to ruin my wedding. Well, he wasn't too happy to hear all that from you and instead started to feel really concerned after the wedding was over with. He just told my husband that he can even use his position as a manager for this company to take you to court for trying to ruin his wedding. Your husband's face is very red right now because of how upset he is with you. Excuse me? It was tough for both myself and Drake to explain to him what's been going on with you inside the office and outside of it, but your husband is a very level-headed individual. He listened to everything we had to say to him without saying a single word. And he knows that neither of us are to blame for your behavior. We even went and showed him the texts you were sending me on the day of the wedding. And he began to apologize to me for all the rude things you were saying. He even got on his hands and knees and apologized for your actions. Hold the hell up. You went and told every little detail to that man? And you showed him all the texts I sent to you? And that was the easiest way to get him to understand what was going on with you. I just got a text from him. He's telling me the divorce is happening. He may have been love-struck by you, but that didn't last long at all after he realized what a child you really are. He's even gone and told us that he hates women like you, thinking you can do whatever you want because of your looks. What? My husband had also been recording a lot of the things you say to him at the office. All kinds of things, like you flirting with him and talking poorly about others in the office to make yourself look better. All of that was recorded and more. Even those times where Drake would obviously say no to your advances, but you'd just keep pushing and pushing until you forced him to get up and leave work for the day. What? My husband really knows how to cover all his corners when dealing with risks inside the company. Who knew all those audio recordings would really come in handy today? So then this means my husband knows about everything? About all the times I tried so hard to get with Mr. Gardner? And about all of those love letters I've been placing on his desk for the past year? There's also the things like you throwing away all those lunches I made for him, and then you going to him during lunchtime and trying to force him to eat the lunch you'd make for him. There are even some audio recordings here that I never heard about, and they've really got me riled up. Wait, at the time... Consider this the end of your super short marriage, Sky. So please, enjoy what talks are to come after your husband gets back home to you. How could you do this to me? Because of you, we really are going to be getting a divorce now. I thought that after a week had gone, things were getting nowhere, but it seems your husband really wants that divorce, huh? Please let your husband know my husband and I say congrats. Shut the hell up! This was my impressive and rich lawyer that I finally got for myself. We even had our wedding, and only days later he's wanting a divorce and is going to get it. Why is this happening to me? You're really asking why now? The reason for that divorce is because of your toxic behavior, so I think that you're getting exactly what you were asking for now. Don't start acting like this was anyone else's fault. Huh? No matter how you think of this, it's all your fault. You thought that as an ugly woman, you could be married, and you were the one that went and married my man of all people and caused this to happen to me. Yet you're going to keep on acting like none of this is your fault and isn't affecting you in any way? You have no right to act that way. Now that you've done this to me, I'm going to do the same thing to you. You divorce Drake right now. No, thank you, Sky. Unlike you, my relationship with Drake is very strong, and we are both very happy with one another. Shut your frickin' mouth! I'm telling you to get that damn divorce, so do it! If you don't, then things will be unfair for me. How come I have to be the one to get a divorce while you, of all people, get to be happily married to a man like him? I will not let that happen! Would you calm down already? Drake and I have been thinking about having kids, but if this is the way they act, then I think we'll just get a cat instead. All that yelling isn't going to get you anywhere and will only land you in the ER. Shut up! Don't talk back to me like that, you ugly whore! You give your husband to me right now! I know that even a man like him wants a beauty like me to become his wife, so hurry up and give me Mr. Gardner! I know that right now he's regretting ever getting married to an ugly freak like you.
I'm not regretting it at all. If anything, I'm extremely thankful to have her. Raven is not only important to me, but is also the most beautiful woman I've ever laid my eyes upon.
What?
I think it's time for you to stop throwing a temper tantrum, you big baby. I've made it so clear to you many times now that I'm not into you at all and have a wife of my own. Yet for some reason, that never seems to mean anything to you, and you continue to try harder and harder. When are you gonna give the hell up?
Is this you, Mr. Gardner? Oh, Mr. Gardner, I really, really love you. You have a handsome face and do your work so well that I would love to make you my husband. I think that someone as outstanding as you would look perfect as my husband. Don't you want to have yourself a gorgeous wife?
I already have one. She has a very good posture, and her body's balance is something most models would die for. Actually, a nut job like you would never work well beside me, considering your character is more rotten than that of a jack-o'-lantern on Christmas Day. So it's a huge no from me.
What?
You said it yourself. I have a handsome face, work very well, I'm a nice guy to be around. And that means someone like me would most definitely not look great with an ugly woman like you.
What? Wait. Did you just call me ugly? The most beautiful woman in the company, ugly? The manager called me ugly?
How many times are you going to say that? I don't get how you can keep on calling yourself the most beautiful when 90% of the office thinks you're not only physically ugly, but mentally as well. Every single thing about you is disturbing, and it makes even the most kind people in the office shiver.
Huh? Why would you say so many horrible things about me? I am meant for you. A beauty like me has told you so many times now that I love you, yet you keep being so rude.
Who do you think you are saying that you're meant for me? Didn't you just marry another man like a week ago?
I only married him because he was second on my list. Really, I want to be with you and only you. I always wanted to be with you, and I'll leave him for you. I really want to marry you because you and I are meant to be.
Well, could you please tell me who is your third in line? What about your fourth or fifth?
What?
Sky, I'm going to change character for a second here and be your manager now. You should no longer come back to the office, all right? Look, someone like you who never gets any work done and just goes around the office all day talking to men, not something this company allows. So you're being fired now.
What? Wait a second, please. You said I'm being fired? And have been talking with men all this time at work?
Don't try playing dumb with me, all right? This morning, I had 3 women come in claiming to be your boyfriend's wife.
3 women? At the same time?
One of them is a customer to the company. Another works at a hair salon down the street. It seems like you've been going out with all kinds of people's husbands now, huh? And let's not talk about all the time you take off from work to go out and fool around. There's already more than enough evidence of that. And those 3 wives made sure to let me know about it.
Hold on, please.
And in order to hide the fact that you've been taking such long breaks some days and not coming to work on other days, you've been forcing colleagues in the office to finish up your work for you. I'm sorry to say, there's nothing else this company can do for you besides fire you.
No way. Oh, please, just wait a minute, Mr. Gardner. I can't be fired right now. I'm being divorced by my husband right now, and he's asking for me to pay him back for the whole wedding we had. If I lose my job now, I won't be able to carry on.
Don't get so upset there, Sky. Someone as tenacious and stubborn as you can do anything. You're like a cockroach, and no matter how tough things seem to get, you'll find a way.
A cockroach?
Now that you're all up to speed on current affairs, I'm going to start working on the documents I need to hand in for your termination. This also means you're never to come around my wife and I again. If for some reason you still don't listen to me and do show your face again around us, then I'll have to take further action. Not as your ex-manager, but as Raven's husband. And you really don't want to experience that.
After everything that happened, my husband went and handed in the termination documents to HR, and Sky was officially fired from the company. Right after that happened, she then went back to her ex-husband, the lawyer, and begged for him to help her out by protecting her a little longer. She cried and cried and cried, saying she'd be his one and only, but he didn't listen to her and completely turned her away. Then, out of some strange form of luck, he was later seen fighting her in the courtroom as those wives of the men that Sky had been going out with made him their lawyer. Having all the evidence they needed made all the court cases go by smoothly, and all 3 of them were able to get a settlement from her. Because of all the debt, she had to go into borrowing money for all those settlements and the money she owed her ex for the wedding fees. Sky had to leave town and move back home with her parents, where she's now working at a dirty little dive bar.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.